It is the 56th day of my journey. After days of sailing through the deep fog, the lookout shouted that he could see land and the Bakura forest. I felt a surge of relief. Soon we will be sailing the safe waters of the Bay of Northampton, but I feel that the island will haunt my soul for the rest of my days. Alarist. Alright, here we go. So, back up to the entrance. Oh, and they've closed the gate. Okay, wait, summoning stones. Oh my god, look. Okay, wow, alright, so it's not the plant guys. Interesting, okay. So, these guys I've actually fought before. They hit a lot of damage. They seem, oh my god, I don't have the blowgun on Tickerit. No, I don't, where is the blowgun? There we go, okay, good. And we got some arrows there, which we can't use just yet. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I fought these guys before. They're incredibly defensive. The cool thing about Tickerit is soon he'll actually be at a point where he can bypass enemies' armor. Oh, God, that fizzled. I did not mean for that to fizzle. Loto, drink your potion. There you go. It did look like he went on cooldown there. I'll have a check again in a second. But yeah, these guys are really defensive. If you get like high crits, you'll notice Loto Pafo does like 1 damage and then suddenly he'll do tons later. You know, that's a bit of a thing. Here, we'll put the fire bombs on Sanon here. We'll make him drink a potion, actually 2 potions, and we'll throw the fire bomb. Oh my god, why? Okay, hold on, I've got way too much stuff that I need to click. Put the fire bomb on Sanon, throw it. I don't need the torch on him right now, keep clicking. And you'll see that this drops damage over time on him. Now, these guys are rock monsters, so I actually don't think that the poison will do anything at all, so there's no point to do that. But you can, like, DOT people up. You can put loads of rolling damage over time effects on them. The way I usually deal with these guys is hitting them in the back. Usually I wouldn't be fighting them so soon, but I never came here before. You'll notice Loto Pafo's been injured here, both in his legs and his chest, so he's not regenerating health or energy anymore. We're down to rocks with Tickerit. Here's a cool little thing I never talked to you guys about before, but you can pick these back up just from where you're currently stood. These things drop tons of rocks as well when they drop them, by the way. So without even moving over the area that you were firing them at, you can actually just manually click to grab stuff. So anyway, now that these guys are moving around a bit more, maybe we'll have a slightly better chance. Again, we'll back up into the corner. Look, oh man, this fight is so long. Oh my god, Loto, drink. Jonker, drink. See how quickly they do tons of damage? I'm going to go with a Rage Potion. There you go, Rage Potion is eaten. Jonker should be going mental right now. Okay. Wow, Tickerit leveled up as well. Sanon needs more energy. Drink another energy potion, friend. Friggin' Loto Pafo needs health. There we go. We only have 1 more health potion. I just accidentally drank one with Jonker. We don't want the bow stuff there. We want this. This is intense. This is crazy. Oh my god. Okay, one more is down. Whew. Don't forget, we did just put 2 points into accuracy. So, if Jonker gets really low in a second, what I can do, like that, is I can move him to the back. And yes, Tickerit might take some damage here, but Tickerit surely can be healed up just fine. Where's that last potion? Where's the last potion? Oh, Loto Pafo's holding it. Oh my god, and he needs it so badly. Okay, alright, that's fine. We're going to have our 2 backline guys in the front in a second. Oh, we're so close, guys. We're so close. Throw the bomb. You're out of energy. Yes! Oh my god, that was insane. I'm so glad I prepared for that. Wow. Jesus. Ah, dude. Okay, so we got tons of rocks here. Tickerit actually doesn't need all these rocks. Okay, we're going to be replacing one of his weapons soon, and rocks are kind of heavy. Oh, we're all injured up to hell, though, guys, and we're quite far. Actually, we might be able to get to the next save crystal pretty soon. Not save sphere, save crystal. Jesus. Okay, we had 2 levels up. What does this tome even give us? Oh my god, I'm having so much fun. All right, Tome of Knowledge. Gain 1 skill point. All right. These were pretty common in the previous game. The keepers of the Sunken Library record the knowledge of all their visitors in these journals. Kind of an interesting idea. There was actually a library level in the previous game. But yeah, and actually there's some weird references to the Isle of Nex in the previous game. We're going to talk to you guys about later. But alright, so who do we want to have this skill point? I think we want Jonker to have it. Now, I know he's leveling up like mad at the moment, but we want him to have it just so he can push a bit deeper into heavy weapons. And so when we do get one, we can really, you know, start smashing face with it. He's already better with them than light weapons. I don't want to feel like this was a huge problem going into light weapons early, and I genuinely don't think it was. Even though it wasn't like totally flush. Alright, you'll see that Tickerit's actually hurt one of his hands here. It means he cannot attack, so if he was to just try and throw this rock, he can't do it. But because he's using the sling, he still can. That's another advantage of actually using these kinds of things. That's fine. We got some meat over here. And really, I guess, what do we want Tikrit to go into? When Tikrit leveled up, by the way, he gained a random stat. I didn't see what it was. But because he has mutation, this is a trait I gave him at character creation, this thing here. Now, this is a Ratling exclusive trait. Only the Ratlings get this ability. But it means that one of their attribute scores, which is chosen randomly, will increase by 1 when they gain a new level. Very cool idea. I'm not really sure which class would benefit most from that. But I think Rogue is decent enough. You know, it's going to suck if he gets something like Strength. But I can handle that, right? So what skill do we want him? Alright, yeah, we're going to go Missile Weapons. So here, look, it says at the 4th skill level of Missile Weapons, which we've almost maxed out now. Our missile weapons will start ignoring 20 points of an enemy's armor. Needless to say, that would have been amazing against these rock guys a second ago. Amazing. We didn't quite have it, but that's the way that the game works out, I guess. It means next time you play, maybe you're going to push that a little bit harder to get your missile weapons up. Loto Pafo here will probably do best going one more into light weapons here. And because this means at the 3rd skill level we can start dual wielding light weapons as long as one of them's actually a dagger. Now normally dual wielding will drop your damage down by 40%, but because he's a rogue... How do I mouse over him being a rogue? Is it one of his traits? Yeah. Because he's a rogue, you'll see when he's dual wielding, he only suffers a 25% penalty to his weapon damage. So that's actually really good. Funny thing is, right now, though, he kind of wants this shield too, so we're not going to do the dual wielding thing just yet. That'll be something for a little bit later. What this does mean, though, is now that he's got level 3, he can use this special weapon on his backbiter, this dagger we got from the first gold door. And it reads here that successfully hitting with this will drain life from the target and heal me, which is amazing. So I'll be able to show that off. This is kind of what it looks like without a target, but with the target obviously that will pump his health up. And so that's kind of a cool idea. You can imagine a low vitality guy that gets a lot of healing basically from leeching life because his vitality was low in the first place and is incredibly evasive. You can see the synergy there. Alright, well this is the first time I've been in this little area. I have, to tell you guys the truth, I have seen this on maps online of the Twiggeroot Forest, but there you go, this is us actually here now. And I think we've got everything. I can't imagine a 3rd secret within a secret, right? Because remember, we only got to this area by pressing a secret button after we'd already pressed a secret button and gone through a teleporter to find a chest. And this was the door that opened up, so we're going to press this. And beautiful. So that's where the secret originally was. Here are the 2 teleporters we disabled before when we were in the Shrine of Entanglement. I'm going to save because I didn't save after that. I was not expecting that to be so ridiculous. Current file, here we go. I thought we were going to fight like the normal plant type dudes before the end of the first level. What a shocker. Okay, but something very cool has just happened. Maybe you've noticed it. We're now on the other side of the river. Because we wormed our way around on the right. Here behind this we find a pretty decent sword that Jonker will have for a little while. Got to reorganize him here. Currently he's got the rapier, which is 4 to 13 damage, and then gets a bonus based on strength. This here is a longsword. This requires light weapons 3 to use the ability on it, but just generally equipping it, we get 8 to 24 damage. Slightly longer cooldown, but overall I prefer this. This will probably be the last light weapon that he's using. And Loto Pafo can hold this nice sword now for later on. We got a healing potion there too, sorely needed. We're going to need to start looking for some more blood drop caps actually. And a scroll of invisibility. This is going to be where it sucks a little bit for you guys. This is probably a spell you won't see me using, not for a long time. Because this requires Air Magic 3, and we've just not been speccing into Air Magic at all. And it still requires Concentration 2 as well. But this is Invisibility, and it does what it says on the tin. It's stealth for you, okay? It will only last a little while. It was a really interesting thing, and when I Let's Played the previous game as well, I never really showed it off until a lot later. I think we're going to be doing the same sort of thing here as well, guys. Sorry about that. I know it's an interesting spell. But I really like going for the fire early on, and I guess that's what we settled into. Alright, we've got another gargoyle dude here. And we can start ignoring his defense, do all these cool things. In general, it's not going to be worthwhile for Loto Pafo to constantly use his backbiter. But, you know, I can use it a couple of times to show it off. As soon as he takes that first little bit of damage, maybe it's worth it. He's not spending energy on anything else right now anyway. Oh, I thought I was going to hit those wargs there. Oh, well. When I came here on my test file, I was in, it was the dead of night at this point. We'd be better using the blowgun as well right now. It does more damage. See, we're hitting 37 there. And that's consistent. You know, like, damage can swing wildly in this game. You can miss, do nothing. You can miss, like, 3 times in a row, do nothing 3 times in a row. Or you can crit once and do more damage than you did in, like, the previous 6 swings altogether. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so we've got some wargs there, always happy to see them. And a skull! So, the skulls. These are returning. These, again, were a big thing in the previous game. You might not have thought they were in Grimrock 2. They absolutely are. What are they? They're the remains of previous adventurers. But the Minotaurs have a unique trait that I chose at character creation. Only Minotaurs can have this, called Headhunter, strength +1 for each skull carried. This sounds so small and so marginal, but because of the way stats work in this game, this is huge. And if you can, like, eventually fill your inventory up with skulls, it is massive. If you had like a berserking Minotaur with Headhunter, the damage is just, it goes to ludicrous levels. So this is going to be really cool. Jonker's really going to start running away from the other guys because of stuff like this, and we're just going to want to keep our eyes out for more skulls in the future. I was going to say something else there, but it completely slipped out of my mind as I was talking. Alright, another blood drop there, another etherweed there. They don't have to be underwater, but near water. And of course we could go back in this water here, but now if we drop down, we're pretty much gonna end up back on one of these ladders we've seen before that would take us back to where we started, so we don't really want to do that. Instead, I want to get to that save crystal you guys can see through that wall there. Got some wargs. These guys are just as deadly as they were before. I mean, defensively we've not changed very much, so do be cautious. I'm not too concerned though, because the save crystal's right there, even if some of us die. At the end of the day, these guys are just sort of generic trash enemies. I mean, Loto Patho just hit for 72 there, and then he hit for 28 this time. I mean, the damage numbers are just massive. We're so injured and crippled and battered and staggering around right now. Wonderful. And we've managed to save. So this is the save crystal here, and we are frighteningly close to the castle. We get 2 broadhead arrows here and a short bow. So this is why I didn't want those rocks. We don't need them at all. I'm going to throw the rocks down. Heavy damn things. The sling, you have been good to us, but the short bow is far better. 6 to 18 damage. Has a special ability called Volley, which we unlock at Missile Weapons 5. And we already have 5 arrows to use with it. This thing is really going to do a lot of damage. And I love this part of the game because it feels like all your options of where to go have opened up massively, and then you get all this cool gear and stuff. You start to realise who your team are, you know, what their roles are. Tikrit the leader with San... But I guess Sanon's just randomly doing stuff right now. Anyway, we hit this pressure pad. These gates open. This will be one place you guys can decide whether we go to. This is Keel Breach Bog, okay? Horrible looking area. And the game's going to give us a bunch of stuff like anti-venom stuff soon. Right near that bog, I wonder if you can figure out why that might be. We've got a locked gate over here, which we don't seem to be able to get into just yet. A switch here that opens this fence, so we couldn't have got to the save crystal if somehow we'd come here from the other side, right? Have to come from there. And here we get a couple more options. First of all, we're right next to the damn castle, which is very exciting. Second of all, there's a very small cave here called the Cache. Again, you guys can choose if you want to do this in order. The Cache is a totally different looking area as well. Where's our torch? There we go. You notice this is proper cavey in there. Very exciting. We'll see whether anyone really wants to go in there. So you've got the Cache. At the end of the day, I'll be going to all of these places. It's just the order. We've got the castle itself, which I'll talk to you guys about in a second. Or down there, we have various other places. There's a giant... Oh, I shouldn't spoil it. I shouldn't say... There's other stuff down there, so you guys can decide. I won't walk all the way. Seems to be some mysterious barrier here with some loot actually inside it. Oh my god, hello. I've been wanting to end the episode. Stop doing this to me. Look, we'll blow this guy up. This is what I thought we were going to be fighting earlier. Look how quickly this guy's going to melt now that we're like complete bosses and we have all this crazy stuff. I could kill like 4 of these at once at this point, I feel like. Actually, he's lasting a lot longer than I thought he would, but okay. We've got some wargs. Hopefully they don't chase us the whole way. More warg meat, more food. And at any time we can just jump back in the river and get even more food. But let's... Is he coming? He's not coming. Let's have a look at the castle. Unfortunately, the gate does seem to be shut. Hello. Alright, and just to be clear about this, guys, you can totally leave a comment about where you'd like to see us to go, because we do have these options now. Our choices are the small-ish cave very close to where we're currently stood, called the Cache, the bog, which is rather nearby. The castle itself seems to be locked to us right now, though we'll discuss this a little bit more next episode. Then there are numerous underwater caves we could travel through in the river. Or we could go through the Shrine of Pain that I pointed out early in the previous episode. Or we can go just to the left of the castle where I was fighting those wargs just a second ago. Lots of different options. Ultimately, as I say, we'll do all of them. But this could be a bit of fun for you guys. What do you think sounds most interesting? We'll do it at the start of next episode.